Hey folks, Landstryder here, and you're watching episode 29 in season 2 of my Nightmare series. I'm hanging out here in Agrarian Skies, and if you see behind me, I've just finished modifying my garden here to start growing spice leaf. That is going to be for a future quest that I need to complete in the Hell's Kitchen series. Cloudy with meatballs. Spaghetti requires spice leaf to create, so I've gone ahead and reconfigured my power garden here to start growing the spice leaf. You can see I just hang it. It's got a bunch of seeds that I just am leaving in there so that I can easily switch up the whatever I'm growing in there in the future. But spice leaves are going a little slow because I only had a few seeds to start with. But I imagine that once a few of those come to full development and the seeds, I get a few more and a few more. Eventually, this will all fill in with spice leaf. At least that's the plan. And hopefully that'll get me what I need to go real quick. But I've run out of appetite. I have a real short temporary cure for that, and that also involves how I am going to be processing the ores that are coming in from the lasers. Remember last episode I put the laser drill way up there, and it's been doing quite well at getting me some resources, but now I need to start processing these resources. So if I look in my system at ores, I compressed all of my Exnalio ores because I intend to use those here in a little bit in the high oven to process. And we'll get to that here in a minute, but first of all, there's a bunch of ores that can't be processed in a smeltery, or I don't want to process them in a pulverizer. One of those is, say, lapis ore. Let's see, what else is there? Emerald ore. Let's see, it should be diamond ore. Certus quartz. What else? And apatite, that's the one that's going to be the relatively short-term fix. Yellowite ore. Okay, so what I'm going to do with these, let's see, I got 6 of them. That's good. As long as they don't go over 8, I should be okay. Let me just jump up here so you can see the top of this setup. Right here, got too close to it. I've got another autonomous activator. I have to be careful because I don't want to stand too close to this guy. It has my manilium pick in it that is mastered, and I finished out the luck enchantment on it for a fortune 3. So it'll have a much higher chance of getting those special drops, which is exactly what these ores need in order to give me extra materials when it breaks them. And then I went ahead and made a new pickaxe out of manilium to replace my other one, and I upgraded my old one to manilium parts. Now, it was aluminite. I fixed it up, made the parts, upgraded it, and maxed out the fortune on it just for this purpose. So now that one's gonna continuously try to break whatever is above it. This one, if you remember how I have this one set up over here, so I can sometimes I would put ore here and break it with the Exnalio hammer. And if you set it to aim high, it'll actually place the block above the block in front of it. So if I tell this one to aim high, which I've done, round robin, because I wanted to use all the slots, and I wanted to right click because I wanted to place the blocks that go into it. So I don't want to put any blocks in there. Down here, let me get a light potion here real quick so I can fly up here. It's just a little out of reach. Okay, so up here you can see the other side where I've got it set to input, and I put a precision export bus here. I'm going to tell this thing to export these 6 ore types. So now, toss those back in there. I shouldn't need those again. I come up here and look, And it is breaking though. Yeah, it's going in there. It's going in. Yeah, you can see it bouncing around. It's so close to the vacuum hopper, you almost don't see it, which is fine. So that's exactly why I wanted it as close as possible, the nice direct in unobstructed path, so that it does not have a chance of flying off. So if I look at ore now, make sure that it's not. Yes. Okay. And I'll have to keep an eye on this, make sure that these ores are in fact, getting used up. Looks like it. Gonna end up breaking them down. So now I have some appetite, so that should actually be feeding. Yep, it's already made me some fertilizer. So as the laser drill brings in more appetite ore, this will go ahead and process fertilizer into the thing here, and give me, and keep the power garden going a little bit faster. Now, if that still seems like it's still not keeping it going quite enough, there is one other thing that I can do, but I will save that for a different time. So that's how I'm processing some of the ore coming out of the laser drill. Now the other way I want to do that is I want to set up my high oven to be much more automated. So what I've done, I've got that switch. I've pulled out the top here. I had a scorched duck right there in the top. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take these couple right there, scorched bricks, and I'm going to replace those with scorched ducks. And I've made some more scorched bricks, and I have some left over from when I attempted to make a tank. And I probably should update you. I did actually, way back, I'm not sure which episode it was this time, I might have to look, but way back I tried to make a tank for, the Tinker Steelworks tank. And what had happened is every time I tried to open the interface, it crashed. I did finally figure out what was causing that crash and, how to correct it. If you remember, my tank was going to sit right over here, and according to the book, it was an okay configuration. I had it 3 deep, 5 wide, and I think it was 5 tall. And the book said as long as those were even or odd numbers, it would be okay. Well, and for other people in the multiplayer servers that I had played with, that was okay. They had a 2 different lengths of, or 2 different dimensions for the footprint. What I've discovered though with my particular client configuration, I'm still not exactly sure what part of it doesn't like the fact, but it does not like the fact that it was 2 different dimensions. So as soon as I made those dimensions the same, if I made a 5 by 5 footprint, then the tank would work fine. I could open it up, it wouldn't crash me, no problem. But yeah, there's the update on that. Well, fortunate or unfortunate, I did end up using these casting bins, so the tank is kind of irrelevant for me at this point. So, and I want to bring this thing up 2 levels. So, oops. If I dang it. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think I'm going to need 6 of these ducts in order to fully automate this. I might need more because there's a good chance I won't be able to pump in everything I need to into one, because each one of the export buses can only handle 8 items, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up with more than 8 ore types to go in there. Anyway, let's get the rest of that set up. I got these scorched bricks, and the book says making it taller than 8 bricks is somewhat pointless, I guess. It's there's no point in making it any taller than this. This is like maximum efficiency for height and whatever. And just to verify that, see, I got 6 slots in there to work with now. If I take this out and I raise it up one more, I'm pretty sure it won't break it or anything, but I doubt it will give me another slot or raise the temperature that it operates on or anything like that. So yeah, see, it doesn't give me any more slots. It just makes it a little bit taller. So I'm going to go ahead and knock it back down to the maximum recommended height, or maximum useful height, however you want to look at it. So this one can go right back in there, and that's pretty much as big as you would ever want or need to have your high oven. So okay, and then each one of these ducts is going to have a different function. This is going to, if you see the symbol in the middle here, this will send items into the slots in here. And if I pull these out, you can see each one of these slots in here has its own symbol. And then there's one extra symbol that's not represented in there, which is this one. This is the waste. So whenever the high oven works now, it produces waste in the form of slag. I think it's the same kind of slag that you would get from thermal expansion if you was to use sand to smelt in the induction smelter. So this produces slag as a byproduct occasionally. So that's the other symbol in here. One of these ducts is going to be for the waste. One's going to be for that's the oxidizer. One's for, I think that's catalyst or crystallizer. I'd have to look at the book. And then the next one, oh, that one don't want to work. Seem to be having a problem with that duct. That one's working okay. That one's working okay. Okay, so it looks like I cannot have them on this top level. Probably. Yeah, that makes sense because there's no access to the inside core on the top level here. So I'm going to have to move these ones to here. There we go. Now if I look at, okay, that's that one. Yeah, and now I'm able to modify them. That's going to be for that. And then these three back. Why is that one not want to work? Well, that one just don't want to work, apparently, for some reason. Maybe it can only handle a certain number of these. I hope that's not the case. So that one's going to be for the actual materials that are going to go in and get smelted. This one's also going to be for smelting materials. So 3 for the catalyst, 1 for the export, 2 for smelting materials. Oh, I need a fuel port. So one of these needs to be fuel. What if I made this one down here? If I did that, and I made that one for the fuel. Okay, that seems to work. Okay, hopefully that hasn't affected any of those. It might just be that that brick was just too far away from the controller? No, I'm not sure. Anyway, it seems to work like this. So this is the waste. This is where I'm going to put the import bus to pull back out of the waste back into the system over here. Going to need some export buses. And I thought I had those being crafted. Guess not. And export buses. I'm going to need about 5 of those. Get that started. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get these all configured, and I'll be back in a minute after I've done that to show you how I did it. Okay, I was walking by here, and I seen that we've got a little bit of a problem here. Apparently, yellowite ore does not break down into a dust, so I need to take that one out of the loop. I'm going to come down here and take that one off of the export bus down here. So what I do need to do is, now this pulverizer over here has an export bus. This basically will automatically process all these nether ores that I was getting, and I went ahead and added nether uranium and nether diamond to that I started getting from the laser. Unfortunately, that bus is now, or that export bus is now completely full of stuff. This one's already got a crafting interface on this side, and I don't want to overload that one with any more stuff anyway, so I'm going to need an export bus for the, let's see what's up here. It's not wanting to craft my export bus because it needs fluix dust, which I might not have taught it how to make. I did not. So let me get that taken care of real quick. Fluix dust. And I want to use this recipe so that I get more bang for my buck. And I'm just going to go ahead and toss this one in here. Actually, here. So hopefully that will go ahead and start working on... Actually, let me clear those because I don't think I need 8 of them right this moment. I'm going to need actually 6 of them, I think. It's got 1. I want to craft 5 more. I'm going to take this one and use it on this pulverizer. Now these 2 pulverizers over here, this is basically my automated sand production, because I'm going to need a ton of sand to complete one of the hoarding quests. Now I think it'll be alright though if I just go ahead and use that pulverizer there on the end for some of my extra ores that are coming out that I'm going to need to process with pulverizer. So I get a piece of cable and connect it. Here we go. All connected in, and if I tell this yellowite ore, and then all I need to do is switch this off. That will stop exporting, and it also shuts off this pulverizer. That's fine, because I want that pulverizer to go ahead and, I think it probably already processed the yellowite ore that was in, or the one piece that was in the system. Toss this stuff back in here. Okay, I just wanted to point out that, anyway, that was just to point out the fact that one of the ores that I had thought would break down into dust with the pickaxe actually did not, so I had to correct that little issue. So I'm going to go back to programming all this stuff over there with the high oven, and I'll be back again. Okay, I'm back. I've got this pretty much configured the way I want it for now. I decided not to use the import buses, or the ducks, whatever, I'm not going to automatically put stuff in here. When I need steel, which is pretty much the only time that I would use these 3 slots, I will go ahead and manually set that up. And I'm leaving the switch here so that and, when I come by, after it clears this backlog, probably come by and switch it off so that it's not just wasting fuel. I guess it also depends on, if I notice that the laser is bringing it in fast enough that it warrants leaving it on. I've set up this export bus to move stacks or move single items and or craft if it doesn't have it for the charcoal. So what I need to do is set up someplace on one of my ovens. I need to set up the crafting recipe for charcoal. If I come up here and I look, what I've gotten so far is I tried something fuzzy. Yes. By using a fuzzy export bus, I was hoping that I would be able to use the X-Nilo base, or the base ore, or the gravel ore, and I was hoping that it would also get the sand and tin and dusty ores too. So I don't know if it will or not, but I guess I'll just have to watch it. It filled up entirely with gravel ores when I first configured it, so hopefully using the fuzzy it will do that. I might need to adjust the settings of this. Should match any right now. So the middle one I've set up for the overworld basic ores that come in. It's got some in there already, and this one I've set up for another. Did I duplicate gold? No, I just put it in there. So I need to take gold out of there and put it in the other one, which is probably already inside the. Is it already inside the? Yeah, it is. So I set this one up with gold. Open that up and toss it in. That'll work. So this is going to go ahead and keep processing all this. It's heating up relatively fast. I like it looks like it making it taller might have actually improved the efficiency of it. Either that or it's just been changed a bit. Oh, look at all this. I guess I need to maybe... Oh, well that's kind of cool. I guess I might need to expand the size of this or change it over to a tank. Why don't I do that? I should change that to a drum. I even have an empty one, so I just go ahead and use that. Because clearly it's going to collect a lot more XP than this open blocks tank is going to hold, so I'll just switch that to a drum. Now that'll collect all that XP for me that's coming out of this ore. I added 2 more ores to the list down here for it to export. Oops, I gotta be right underneath it to get that to open. Redstone and coal ore I added down here, so that's probably where all the experience is coming from, the coal ore and the redstone. Went ahead. One of the things I didn't do quite right earlier is I forgot to set this side up to allow imports. So I came back and I fixed that. That's pretty much how my ore processing is going to go. I have to keep an eye on it. Oh yeah, I did want to set up automated charcoal production, which I'm going to use oak wood because I have a ton of that. And I would totally use the bloodwood for this, but unfortunately it's fire resistant and it cannot be converted to charcoal. So you can use it directly as a fuel, but can't make charcoal out of it. So if I take oak and I want to make a piece of charcoal, I kind of hate to use the oak for this because I'm going to need a ton of oak later on, but maybe after some of the... So now this, yeah, see, it's already starting to process some charcoal for me. And it'll keep doing that until the duct thing up here, what's it called? Yeah, duct, the scorched duct, until this actually gets full. And that won't fill up until this remains full, so... Okay, so that's ore processing for this episode. Now I want to move on to fish.